Hi, I'm Sarah. We have already set our intentions and our prayers for this session, so enjoy and learn.
That was going to be my next question.
Ha! Ha!
So you have a checklist.
When dealing with you, yes.
Oh, very good, very good. I feel like there's still some questions I have about that portal. I am trying to mesh them out here, flush them out of my brain. Oh,
Kawoosh.
oh, that just did them down the drain.
Ha! Oh, sorry.
What? Telling me sorry or what? For the cat?
You.
Why? It's okay.
I don't normally. I guess you're rubbing off on me. So I'm picking on you more.
That's okay. That's fine. I don't have a problem with it. Ah, there it is. It's the next question I have. Using our current technology, how can we locate portals?
You can't using your current well, in a way, your technology. Okay, cat.
Quit petting the cat and you won't have a problem with your nose.
As evidenced in the particular show you talk about, some of your technologies can detect portals, but portals can fluctuate, they can move around a little bit. So if you yourself personally wanted to invest all the many thousands and tens of thousands of dollars in specific equipment, you might be able to find a portal, but the next time you look for it, it would be elsewhere and you wouldn't know where to look for it. So, as of now, generally speaking, most people cannot actually find a portal. But it's best to just use your own inner senses. That's what people do in Sedona and a few other places around the world. They feel it and they know it's there. Using your inner senses is more important than fallible equipment.
That sounds right. Now, part of that inner senses, is that the ability for that all humans have, but it's dormant in many, in most, in almost everyone, that they can sense magnetic fields like magnetic north? Is that the same process that can be, is that what they use to sense a portal?
Not exactly.
Does that though?
A portal isn't necessarily magnetic north.
I know, but it's an energy, and magnetism is not truly an energy, it is something created by energy. So if you can sense magnetism, you should be able to sense the energy nearby. That was my way of thinking.
Well, there's a lot to be said for that, but the vast majority of human beings ignore all of those.
Yes, I know.
So,
But you mentioned about inner senses. I'm trying to understand what inner senses a person would need to develop if that is what they wanted to do.
checklist again.
Yep, you know me.
It's a matter of each individual learning who they are, really, in their inner core, their higher self that they come from, who that is and what that means to them individually, and hence all those around them, even those who don't even know them. Anyway, that's another conversation. But as you develop your inner senses, they all your inner senses work together to sense magnetism, to sense portals, to sense other beings. It's not like you need inner vision in order to sense the whole magnetic thing you're talking about, true north or whatever. It's your inner senses can't really be broken down into your 5 physical ones the same way your 5 physical ones are.
Thank you. That's a question I've never asked, but one's been in my mind for a long, long time. Thank you.
Yeah. They are more, well, you can say sometimes, like, for instance, a clairvoyant who sees something in their mind's eye, not, well, the third eye, in their mind. It's more of a sensing, but it's a picture. Or there are clairaudient who hear. Some of them actually hear with their physical ears, but most of them, it's inside of them. A scent that the physical body might take in, but it will trigger something in the inner senses. You can't really break them down, break the inner senses down, because they work together. And sometimes it overlaps into actual physical senses. That is a more advanced form of any sort of psychic ability. And there are those who study and practice and do whatever they have to develop those inner senses and how they work together and how they can actually be triggered perhaps by a physical sense or manifest through a physical sense. I'm going off on a tangent here, but basically your inner senses all work together.
There are so many questions in what you just said that I don't even have enough time to ask them all. So go to the next one on my list.
That sounds good.
Checklist.
Well, yes, you must
Yes.
have that. I know.
Can we use only frequencies to separate materials and not use chemicals that pollute?
Well, yes, but generally speaking, humanity hasn't figured that out of late.
You say of late, does that mean of past they have? Even though there is no past.
There was a time when humanity was still more in tune with higher beings, whether physical extraterrestrials or spirit types. And they remembered the things they had been taught and they utilized them. So yes, frequencies, particularly sound, but frequencies. Yes. They were able to use them and science has kind of stomped that out in most people. So-called science. Sorry.
That's okay. I
You know
understand.
my opinion of that. But
Well, I'm beginning to agree with you because science
mm,
is only looking at one part of what's there.
exactly.
Because for a long time, I believed that dark matter was the rest of the universe that we cannot see. In some or sense, some of the readings I've been doing lately say that it's the other dimensions that we cannot move into at this time. It prevents us from going there, and that is what dark matter is. But I really don't know the answer. That's a question for way down the road.
Definitely way down the road.
On a South American high desert plateau, there's a group of markings that we call the Nazca Lines. What was their original purpose?
You're bringing the imp out in me.
Well, that's good, because I got an imp too.
Oh, I know. I was going to say their purpose is to confuse the daylights out of everybody.
They do a good job of that.
Yes, they do.
Successful. Now, let's get down to
Mhm.
tax, as they call
Brass tacks
it.
is
Yes,
the
that
phrase.
too. Thank you.
Well.
uh,
Yep. Pretty much as most people speculate, except the so-called experts and scientists, they were used as direction, as what they needed to be seen from the air, from above. So they were used as communication, shall we say, to the higher beings that were helping people at that time, humanity. And as some of those higher beings kind of lost their way and started to pull away from humanity, and humanity tried even harder to communicate with their gods, shall we say. And it's gotten lost. You know, the whole concept, what the lines meant. The gods never returned to the particular people who were trying to communicate. And then as time went on, the concept of the communication kind of got garbled. And so some of the lines aren't, some of the pictures, the drawings, what the lines meant, it was forgotten by the humans. They just knew that it had been going on for a long time, and they tried to keep it up and didn't really know what they were doing anymore. You know, it's like everything else, entropy attacked. Put it that way.
do you know what some of the symbols mean?
I could find out,
Thank you.
but that doesn't mean I will.
I know. I may not even ask it again. I may forget all about it. But probably not, since this way I'm doing things.
We'll see. We'll see if I can get any answers for you.
Thank
At
you.
the moment, no. But we'll see.
There have been several times in the past where I had a feeling that something big was going to happen. Since I started my journey towards enlightenment, these have increased in frequency. The last one was when COVID permitted my son to ascend. Now I get the feeling that something big is going to happen in the June-July timeframe. Should I be concerned about that feeling?
Depends on what you mean by concerned.
What's going to happen, in other words?
If you're referring to maybe worrying about it,
Yeah.
I would say no.
Okay.
Because whatever it is, whatever you're sensing is going to happen, so there's no point in worrying.
Well, one of the things I came to realize it may represent a time of my death, my departure.
If it is, it is. Is that a problem?
Not for me. Well, I don't think for Sarah either, but it would be nice to know ahead of time, so I can ask many more questions and be better ready. I mean, ready better, or whatever it is.
You still can't talk, can you?
Nope.
So your concern is more with those you might leave behind.
Yeah, particularly Sarah.
Yeah. Again, I say it is what it is, and it's for the best. If it's what your theme of your existence here on earth is all about, and if that is your agreement, just as it was your son's agreement, then I would say it's a good thing, but that may not necessarily be what you're feeling. You
Right,
might be
I
making
understand.
more out of it than there is.
Yeah, it could be. It could just be a bunch of anything. I don't know. There's a whole bunch of stuff that I think about that. Yeah, I will work on getting that out of my memory. Not memory, but current concerns, concerning situations.
As you're spiritually growing, you are becoming more sensitive to things, stuff. But don't make more of it than it is. You have a lot more growth before you have any sort of more specific access to something. Does that make sense?
Yes, it does.
So, yeah, make note that, oh, this is what you're feeling. But don't worry about it.
Okay.
And then when it happens, you can say, oh, that's what it was. Okay. But in the meantime, meditate, continue to read, to watch, to learn and grow, see where it takes you. That was kind of a dumb thing to say because it'll take you farther along your journey.
Yes, it will.
And that's a good thing.
Go ahead.
It wasn't a dumb thing to say. It was a non-thinking thing.
You mean your statement?
My statement was a non-thinking statement.
I have a lot of those too, so I understand.
Yeah, it wasn't dumb because I am not dumb. You are not dumb in the derogatory sense. And I too must maintain positive speech